आप जब जिंदगी में अपने आप को एक्टर के किरदार में आपने कास्ट किया है तो एक्टर का जॉब ही है कि एक रोल से दूसरे रोल में जाए। तो मेरा रोल कब क्या है, तब एक एक्टर है जो एक क्रिएटिव डिफरेंस रहने के बावजूद एक डायरेक्टर के साथ काम कर रहा है, वो मेरा रोल बन जाता है।
I do not hear the story, I do not have a narration per se. I was given the script, started reading it, and the best thing that happened to me while reading the script, I could imagine myself throughout, engrossed. You know, I could see the characters, everybody took a face. It was very visual like that, and I was there. You know, I was performing as Harfan in my head while reading it. Since it was so entertaining, I read it thoroughly time and time and time again.
Hello, my name is Adil Hussain,
And I'm Zain Khan
and you're watching us on
TellyChakkar.
TellyChakkar.
Z5 Originals, Mukhbir, A Story of a Spy, only on TellyChakkar with me, Vishakha, Pandit. Well, I have the cast of the series, and you can correct hoga that a high expectation has been set only by the trailer. But now, as it's gonna going on here very soon, I think I should ask the actors itself, कि guys, आप लोग personally कितना excited हैं, because promising तो काफी ज़्यादा है trailer. So, आपकी expectation?
Very thrilled the fact that there's so much effort that has been put into it, but concerted effort. Effort that I would like to believe in the right direction. To tell a very honest story, a story about the making of a spy, but also about unsung heroes, about the sacrifices they make, and we've told it in a very human, intimate, emotional manner. So I'm very excited for that to come out and for everybody to harvest the fruit of their hard labor.
I'm very selfish as an actor, and then on the first day, like we're going to watch it today.
Oh, any bloopers?
Well, there could be so many, but I have a problem watching myself on the screen even now. So I start watching like this, and then I'm like, oh God, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Oh no. This will happen several times, but I would not probably be like inside. Now I used to do it publicly, like, oh no. So I had gotten some advices from my friends that Adil, don't do that.
So now if I end up seeing Adil sir in that pose, I'll understand that
You'll
he's
understand
not
he's
judging his own work. Now I understand that.
I'm like, oh no.
Oh, he's judging himself inside his
Loading.
own. Yeah.
Like,
But then, I'll be very honest. Amritsar mein jab launch hua, and we were seeing the entire how the launch happened or how the story will unfold. But when as actors, आप लोगों को brief किया जा रहा था that maybe when you were told, okay, this is your character, this was your character.
मेरे ख्याल से स्पाई स्टोरी के साथ मेरा ताल्लुक जो है बचपन से है.
Yes.
और इस वजह से एक्साइटेड तो बहुत था, कुछ करने को मिल रहा है. स्पाई स्टोरी मैंने की है, लेकिन उस किस्म के स्पाई के जो सीरीज है जिसमें स्पाई को लेकर के एक मतलब 8 एपिसोड बन रहे हैं, उस किस्म के गहराई के साथ अभी तक उस किस्म के स्टोरीज में मैंने फिल्मों में किए हैं थोड़े बहुत, तो इसको लेकर के ज़्यादा उम्मीदें हैं. So and also when I especially met Ranji and Jayaprad Desai, they turned out to be amazing human beings, and I make sure that I work with those people who I really like. Otherwise, I don't want to spend like 25 days, 30 days of my life with people I do not vibe with.
Do you have like the what do you call a creative difference when you are actually shooting with them? Because obviously,
apart from few films, very few. It never happened to me, luckily. It's not that it's by design.
Okay.
I think it's by fate or whatever you call it. It never happened that I'm in such contradiction with the makers. बहुत कम हुआ है अभी तक. क्या होता है कि ये मैंने सीखा अपने टीचरों से. आप जब जिंदगी में अपने आप को एक्टर के किरदार में आपने कास्ट किया है, तो एक्टर का जॉब ही है कि एक रोल से दूसरे रोल में जाए. तो मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि सपोज ये डायरेक्टर है फिल्म का और मेरे साथ क्रिएटिव डिफरेंसेस बहुत है, तो मेरा रोल कब क्या है, तब एक एक्टर है जो एक क्रिएटिव डिफरेंस रहने के बावजूद एक डायरेक्टर के साथ काम कर रहा है, वो मेरा रोल बन जाता है.
This is the character that you are supposed to play. What is your take on that?
I do not hear the story, I do not have a narration per se. I was given the script, started reading it, and the best thing that happened to me while reading the script, I could imagine myself throughout, engrossed. You know, I could see the characters, everybody took a face. It was very visual like that, and I was there. You know, I was performing as Harfan in my head while reading it. Since it was so entertaining, I read it thoroughly time and time and time again. And that sort of, I think that really prepared me before I formally started my preparations.
But then what were your preparations? Because I was very keen to know that time also that yours is not like just handsome, charming, lathery review. You have to play a character of a spy, and there's a lot of preparations, and there's no backstory to it. Because as you guys mentioned on the launch also that
You have to make a certain, I at least do, I have to prepare a certain backstory for myself and keep those as memories for my character, because I think memories define a human being. And for my character, I have to have certain solid memories, certain important events in life that I have to have defined in my head, and keep them chalked out to define who I am till the point that the series begins. Then I suppose it's uncovering the layers that are in the script already. The first time you read it, you're bound to, I mean, depending on the kind of bandwidth you have, you obviously uncover a certain superficial layer in the story. Then you keep uncovering those layers as you keep reading the script itself. And that forms a major part of my preparation. Everything else, I mean, the language that the character sort of speaks when he's in India is from Old Delhi, so it's Khadi Hindustani Boli. And that is in the script. So when I read it, a certain dialect comes to me, provided I've heard somebody speak it. And I have. So that dialect sort of came to me, and I was reading it in that dialect. The moment that person shifts to the other part, to the neighboring country, so to speak, broad contours, there's also the fact that Harfan is somebody who's quick-witted, he's quick on his feet, he's charming, but he comes from a certain strata of the society that you have to be true to. You have to realize that, and in many instances, in many portions of our shooting, I had to really change the way, for example, even the way I hold a glass, or the way I walk, or the way I open a door. Those things change. Also, they change with the era that you are representing, or the era that you're in. Since it's 60s, you don't have doorknobs, so things change. You don't have a certain manner of speaking, you don't have the jargon that you have today, so he speaks and acts differently as well. The mannerisms change. I don't see Harfan talking the way I am right. He will not be as descriptive as this, he will not move his hands the way I do right now. All of that comes with, somehow, to me, when I read the script over and over again, it becomes clearer and clearer with every subsequent read. And I take a lot of pleasure in doing that. And I suppose I also enjoy doing those scripts most, which I time and time again. And with the amount of changes.
Like it actually seems the way he's describing it, like to the smallest of the nuances, will actually, have their own feedback, their own take on how they'll see our characters and what takeaways will be for them. Does their feedback really affect your work, or do you just take it like a feedback and you're like, okay, this is the feedback we have noted and we shall move ahead? What is it like for you people? The good, the bad, the brutal,
never.
the whatever.
I only take feedback from my acting teacher.
What about the family? Do you take the feedback from them?
No, I don't. No, because you can't go to a patient when you are a patient yourself. You should go to a doctor. And my acting teacher is. So I don't take anybody's feedback, neither critics. All the great critics, I never bother about. I only go to my teacher and say, okay, now you tell me. Then he would exactly point out, this is where less. Mostly that's what he do less.
Okay.
Not more, but less. So don't give importance to yourself. When you are talking, when you are playing, suppose in front of the camera we are doing, the other actor is important, not you. There is a Japanese actor who says, who's a master actor, Oida, he says that in the process of creating space for the other actor, you end up acting.
You're the first one I think I should say, but then what about you? Do you, how does the feedback from the audience affect your work, or does it not affect, or maybe you're just going on his path?
Any job, as in even sports, it's very easy to sit after a match and in hindsight analyze the match and say that you should have done this, you should have done that, right? So I think you should take feedback in preparation. Be as approachable and open while you're preparing. And when, how when we were kids, we would give maths ka exam, and you knew that the answer was wrong. You could calculate ke ye itne hi aayenge marks. Similarly, have a certain approach when you act. You know if you were true or not. And sometimes, even when you're not true totally in the moment, and there is a dearth of time, there's a paucity of time, and you have to finish that, and you have to move on, you have to make peace with it. When you end up seeing it, you'll have that memory. The whole thing about, just like Sir said, and I want to set myself on that path as much as possible, to be as true as possible while I'm doing it. Eventually, anybody can criticize. Eventually, anybody can say and find out 10 wrong things or 10 right things about what you do. But it's in the learning that you have to put most effort. So yes, there I approach my teachers, I approach people who I look up to, read a lot of books, and I see a lot of content. But at the end of the day, I know my journey is my own, and I have to find my own path.
When you were seeing a scene that's unfolding, let's say Zain का एक scene है जो unfold
Right.
हो रहा है, were you like later on giving each other feedbacks कि listen, just
I would never tell my co-actor what to do. And I am just so, I'm a layman in terms of filmmaking. I don't know that art.
I don't know about you, but then have you actually given a creative feedback while you've seen somebody enact?
I generally avoid that. However, yes, if I'm doing a scene with somebody and their approach is to rehearse before the scene, I would happily partake that. Similarly, with the director, if I have something, if we actors always have brilliant ideas before takes that we want to.
The way he said brilliant ideas, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you go to your director out of curiosity a lot of times with those brilliant
Have you
ideas.
done that? Have you
And-
done that?
Of course you
Oh,
do.
very
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. And then, slowly and steadily remember that you're entering somebody else's world.
हर एक character के साथ एक उम्मीद आगे बढ़ जाती है.
हाँ.
So while you're choosing a new role for yourself, or maybe saying yes, कि, okay, this is the script that I want to be a part of,
Right.
do you sometimes feel pressurized that, okay, I have to be correct with this one also? Or you're like, okay, let's see how this one will turn out for you?
How would you behave when you just came in here? Where would you go? Who will you talk to? In
Yes.
what note you will talk to? You don't know. Do you?
No.
Nobody knows, actually. We have this perceptual ideas that, oh, if someone dies, we have to. I didn't even shed a drop of tear when my dad died. I was ready for it, and it never happened. And everybody expected that I would cry, came home after he passed away. No, I didn't even know that I would say that. My mom was happy that let's eat, let's cook his most favorite food. So what I'm trying to say, even in the most cliche situation,
But then do you have a checklist when you are saying, or maybe when you're hunting down a character for yourself, or when you're saying yes for a role, do you have like your set of checklists? कि अच्छा ये tick 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 that's
I would read as he reads. That's probably almost the similar way that I approach. I read the script before even I said yes. I would read the script several times, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with it. Sometimes I know, but most of the time I have no clue what's wrong. But it's not
Connecting.
appealing.
Yeah, appealing to you.
when you're choosing a new character, do you obviously you read the script, but then what is it that you keep in your mind while choosing a character? And also, do you personally feel pressurized? Ki, okay, the last one has been loved, the last one got this reaction, the next one has to be like maybe beating the old ka benchmark, or maybe what is it like for you?
I don't feel the pressure from outside. I feel the pressure from within. That the last one appealed to me in this manner. This has to live up to those standards. This one has to be equally appealing. Or I have to find wiggle room in anything to make it my own. For it to be something that will actually make me grow and do something different, to explore. Those are the major points that I keep in mind. Goes without saying that the script has to be good. The story that is being told has to be worth your while. And you have to, fit into it and do justice to it and see yourself doing it.
Well, guys, on that note, I'm very keen to know that Mukhbir fans के लिए बहुत जल्द out होने वाला है for them to see. What are your parting words for them?
Mukhbir is coming on Z5 and watch the story of the unsung heroes of our country, watch the story of sacrifice, watch a story replete with emotions and thrill and suspense and drama and with Adil sir. Nice turn, no?
What
Nice
about
twist.
you? What any parting words that you want to, or maybe any takeaway that you want to share with them in the end?
It's going to drop, and I think it's a lot of fun, a lot of thrill, a lot of emotions, and a lot of love that you will see for the country, a lot of patriotism, and I think you would love it. So watch it, Mukhbir.
Well, I would say just don't forget to watch Mukhbir only on Z5 because this is quite the one story that जिसको आप देखना चाहेंगे because it's the story of a spy. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me here on TellyChakkar. So
Can
we'll
I
take them
change? Can we
offline, but
edit
then
it?
this is me,
Edit it?
Vishakha
No.
Pandit, signing off from TellyChakkar. Stay tuned.
Thank you, sir.
Know all about the telly world by subscribing to TellyChakkar's YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated to our new videos.